Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the chromatography part of the lab. So here's what I've done. I've taken each of the 4 pens and I put a mark on my filter paper with the pens and I've numbered them. And then this is my beaker of water. So I'm going to put the paper towel in the water. Through capillary action, the water is going to travel up the paper. And then when it gets to the filter paper, it'll spread out and it's going to separate the colors that make up my black ink. So while we do the solid part of the lab, we're going to let this sit in water. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side. Okay, so for either you've set up your data table in Google Docs, or you have a piece of paper out so you can record data. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of the solids on my testing sheet here, and I'm going to zoom in so that way you can record appearance. Okay, so there's my baking soda. All right, and then I'm going to slide this over. So there's my salt. There's my sugar. Okay, there's my cornstarch.
Are those like blocks of cornstarch, or are they like just?
They're scoops.
Okay.
Okay, and then the last one is the unknown. So there's my unknown. Okay, so some of the things we wanted to test work better if we dissolve all of these in water first. So that'll be the next test we do, is going to be dissolving in water. So either you're going to record yes, that it dissolved, or no, or you can even use the terms soluble and insoluble. Okay, so I'm going to add drops of water. And then I'm going to use a toothpick to stir. Okay, and we can see that my solid dissolves. All right, we're going to do the same thing with salt. Okay. And we're going to stir. And I can see my salt dissolved. And so I did the same thing with sugar, and my sugar dissolves. Okay, so I can see that not as much solid is present now, but at the same time, it's kind of cloudy in appearance. So we're going to record this as being slightly soluble. All right, and then the last one to test with water is my unknown. Okay. All right, and I can see my unknown dissolves. Okay, so we know that the only thing that's conductive as a solid is metallic substances. These are all compounds. So in order for these to see if they're conductive, they had to be in water. So we're going to test conductivity next. So I'm going to take the 2 metal electrodes here, and I'm going to put them in solution. I'm going to zoom out so you can see my conductivity tester. And so when I put the 2 metal leads in here, you can see my red light is glowing here. So for conductivity, you're going to record yeses or no. So I can see this one lights up. So this should be a yes. And I've labeled all my conductivity testers so that we don't have to worry about contamination. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with salt. Oh, I think my battery might be dead, actually. No. Okay, let's try. I'll just clean off my unknown. Hold on, let me grab a paper towel. Okay, so my salt lights up, it's glowing. So we would record that as being a yes. Okay, I've cleaned off my metal electrodes. So we're gonna put this in sugar. And my light bulb doesn't light up, so we're gonna record a no. Okay, my cornstarch lights up, so we're gonna record a yes. And I'm cleaning this off, and I'm gonna put in my unknown, and my unknown is a yes also. Okay. So conductivity was one of the tests we needed to do to prove or disprove that one of the solids was the unknown. Okay, the next test that we're going to do, again, to prove or disprove, is to do the test with vinegar. So I'm going to zoom in so that you can record observations. So we're going to add vinegar to baking soda. Okay, so you can see that it's bubbling. Okay. If I add it to salt, okay, we don't see bubbles, so no bubbles. If I add it to sugar, we don't get bubbles there either. We're going to add it to cornstarch. Okay, and that doesn't have any bubbles. And then the last one is my unknown. Okay, and no bubbles there either. Okay. So again, the vinegar test was one we could use to prove or disprove the solid. Okay, we have one more test to look at. And that's the test with iodine. Okay, so I just want to show you what iodine looks like before we get started. So iodine is kind of this reddish brown color. If it's reacting with the iodine, it's going to turn a dark blue color. So probably on your end, it's going to look more like it's black. Okay. All right, so my baking soda stays that reddish brown color. Okay, so there's not been a reaction here. And the same thing with salt. It stays that reddish brown color, so no reaction with salt. Okay. And the same thing with sugar. It stays that reddish brown color. And then the last one is cornstarch. And so cornstarch turns that dark blue color. So like if I zoom out, you can see how it's a reddish brown color here with baking soda, but it's this dark blue, black color with cornstarch. Okay. And then my unknown here, it has that same reddish brown color that we see with soda, baking soda. So again, the iodine test is one we can use to prove or disprove or eliminate a solid. Okay, so that's all the tests for the solid. That all goes into your data table. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, I'm going to pull out your filter paper and lay it out for you to look at. Okay, so this is what you're going to need to take a picture of so that you have it for your lab report. So this is how the 4 pins separate out into their colors with chromatography. Okay. All right. Now the picture you take goes in your lab report. If you need a better picture, you can look at the file, the folder in Schoology in Chapter 6 Labs, and there's a picture that I took that might be better. You can zoom in to see the different colors if you need to. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to compare the colors in this to the colors in my will. So I took the words that were written in black ink and I did chromatography so you can see how the colors separate out. So you're looking for the same color combination. So you'll post the picture in your lab report. Okay. In the claim part, you'll tell me which pin, and in the evidence part, you'll tell me the colors. So when you're listing the colors, you start from the center and you work your way out and list them in order. All right, are there questions about the lab? All right, then if you have no further questions, you have all your data. You are free to go. Labs are due tomorrow at the end of the school day.
Can I just look at this for a sec more?
Yeah.